Okay. Hey guys, it's Dancer99 here. I'm back today with another important video I have to make. So, fair warning, this is going to be a little bit of a political talk, but this is not oriented towards any specific belief. It's oriented towards general whole of politics, okay? So, just be aware, we're going to have a little bit of discussion about politics, but this isn't propaganda of any kind. So, I don't want to stereotype any individuals out there, so just know. What I do want to do, however, is point out a very specific group / statistic in particular, and how their views are to be watched out for. And these people are anti-LGBTQ, basically all the homophobic you can be, young Christians who are like, oh, no sex outside the marriage bed, that kind of thing, those kinds of people. And they're young, remember that. So now again, this isn't Christianity as a whole. Please do not get that idea. Christians can be really great people. They can be, I'm more than certain there are some completely sex-positive Christians out there that could not be more for LGBTQ. So please do not take this as a broad whole to stereotype Christianity. Please do not. So I'm going to start with this. As we all know, it's agreed on that you shouldn't go too far right or too far left on the political spectrum, or your mind could go pretty whack. I mean, we all know that by now. So the saying is, you can't go too far right in your beliefs, or else if you do go too far right in your beliefs, you get so control and power hungry and that you basically just become a fascist, or better known as a Nazi. But if you go too far left in your political beliefs, you get so hungry you get so overtly hungry over a belief of strength and union and get together and strength and numbers that it just becomes too much and you become a communist. That's the general saying, basically. So with that in mind, I want to talk to you about these individuals in specific. The anti-LGBTQ, sex-negative as could be, Christians, or Muslims, or people of that background, as long as they are anti-LGBTQ and very strictly sex-negative. So, trust me, I'm not someone to jump to conclusions, okay? But I want to remind you here, this right here this is my personal experience as someone who used to be a homophobic Christian. As homophobic as these dudes, where they were just so angry about it. Mind you, I used to go to a church that preached a lot about lust and gay is wrong and all that bull crap. So, these types of individuals can take different forms. Some, who often are slightly older, disguise what they do for profit. And Charlie Kirk is an example of this. And I know he died, but that's why I'm making this video. I know people feel sorry for him. I kind of do myself. He didn't deserve to die that way. He was so misguided, and as a result, some crazy Redditor dude just killed him. So, I couldn't be more sad about that. But, it just breaks my heart that someone so young could die over politics. It's just horrid what politics can do to this country, or in any other. So, but I'm gonna need you to just hear me out here, so that hopefully y'all understand where I'm coming from. I only seek to benefit, okay? I'm not here to make a bunch of shit up for immediate overnight clout. No, I want my channel personally to be of hard work and dedication that gets me to, even if it's 200,000 subscribers or something small like that. As long as it's hard work and dedication towards fame, that's all I care about. So, that's just to reassure you, I'm not here to make this shit up for clout. But, I'm definitely not looking to be famous over this in particular. So, that's what I was saying. Let's talk about my personal experience first. I used to go to a church. A homophobic and completely sex-negative, no hooky outside the marriage bed one. Yeah, that whole thing. Which is still turned on. Okay, perfect. So, I used to be in Charlie Kirk's position, being so powerfully preached against lust and weird, creepy pedo homosexuals, that stereotype so much, that I want to inform you is that all it drives you to do is hate them. Hate LGBTQ individuals. You cannot in this position, you can't truly love a sinner like Jesus did. Because you are so scientifically and naturally amplified to be against those you see as your enemies by both the preaching and your testosterone throughout your whole period of sexually developing / being sexually developed. Basically from the time you enter puberty to the time you can't gain erections anymore and your hair starts to go gray. Basically that period of time. So, even with a heavy amount of stifling your anger and keeping your voice calm, Charlie Kirk only kept his wrath and true feelings at bay as much as he could and fought to do whatever he could to make it look like he didn't hate these individuals. And so, he probably let all that anger out and testosterone with coping skills like maybe beating up your freaking bed mattress, I don't know. But, the thing is, you can't be discriminatory or phobic of any kind towards any group or section or group of society such as LGBTQ, furry fandom, specific race, etc., without feeling hatred towards them. That's why it's called discrimination. Now here we're getting a bit specific and hitting on that young Christian anti-LGBTQ. So, there is a group of individuals who seek to completely obliterate people like me who are known as anti-furries. And anti-furries are a great example of how this religion and testosterone-motivated hatred are a raw input and view into how religion and high testosterone, given their young age, impacts these beliefs. Their anti-furry memes and posts are just such a raw, unbridled, unfiltered view into their wrath. And so, now this part I'm about to say next is coming from personal experience. As a homophobic person, you cannot help but fit these woke groups into a broad stereotype given how complex it all is to simplify what they all are to you. And from that point forward, you concentrate all this testosterone and religion-driven wrath onto that stereotype. Anti-furries do this with furries because they are, well, the one thing in this stereotype that they could see as the most gay of all things. Because there's just so much homosexuality and stuff in the furry fandom and so much pride. And being homophobic in the furry fandom is a very big frowned upon no-no. So, either way, stifling it or being raw and unfiltered about it, it's Bible thumping. And Christians have used this, I love you, but you're going to hell if you continue this behavior, and use the genuinely trauma-driven, angry reactions. Remind you, these were individuals that grew up discriminated by having their identities heavily discriminated and Bible thumped by churches when they used to go to church. That's why they're no longer part of it. It's so much trauma that they're trying to put in the past, but these individuals bring it back up. And so they use these genuinely trauma-driven, angry reactions from these so-called woke liberals. They use this, and it results in a higher profit of just general attention, not just views or anything, but just general attention and fame. And people like this guy I'm showing you, Nicholas Bowling and Charlie Kirk, are great examples of these kinds of people that profit off of this behavior. So, with all that being said, reminder, I do not want to orient y'all towards any specific belief. This is for all political backgrounds, so that you can understand this behavior from people, hidden or not, and detect it so that you don't let these biased individuals impact your beliefs. It was the death of Charlie Kirk that reminded me to make this video. That inspired me to make this video. Remember, politics can be a very tricky, harsh, and even deadly subject. which I really hope we all learned today what being too far left or too far right can do to us in the light of Charlie Kirk's death. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, man. You didn't deserve to die this way. You were heavily misguided. And as always, thanks for watching.